What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are backing in with an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be a never-used battle against Alyssa, a person I battled off my Discord server, and if you guys are interested in joining my Discord server, I'll leave a link to my Discord in the description. Now, as you can see by my team, I'm packing a pretty threatening team. Not gonna lie, my opponent's team is equally as threatening, if not more threatening. I'm using some sets you guys suggested me to use, such as Endure, Weakness Policy, Hitmonlee, which is a set I've used before, but I will not hesitate to use it again. Also using Fly EMZ, Braviary, and a bulky Victory Bell set with String Set. My opponent's team looks pretty cookie cutter if you ask me. And yeah, we're gonna hop in this battle. If you guys are enjoying my Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle content, by the way, I would appreciate if you hit the like button, as it's much appreciated and keeps me motivated to put out this content for you guys. So I was expecting my opponent to lead off with the Rotom, because looking at her team, I can tell that it's probably Scarf Rotom. So I lead off with my Scarf Frostlass, and on the first turn, I blow this man away, or woman away, my bad, with a Shadow Ball, and then the Ghost Motor is going to go down. So the original nickname Rotom is going to get obliterated by that. Now my opponent's going to bring a Max Direct. What a surprise! The Steelix! Wow! My opponent's nicknames are about as original as her team is. Like, not gonna lie, like, wow. Now I'm going to switch out expecting my opponent to go for the Stealth Rocks because, you know, it's the most balanced move in the game. And she's going to lay up her Stealth Rocks. And I bring in Hitmonlee. And I know she's 100% going to switch into the Golbat, but at the same time, getting rid of Stealth Rocks is very, very important. So she is going to bring in her Golbat here, as I decided to go for the Rapid Spin because I need to get rid of these stupid-ass entry hazards because Stealth Rocks are busted as shit. So we're going to be able to remove Stealth Rocks in the field, which is good. And now we can't stay in here to take a Brave Bird. So I'm going to switch out and bring in Snelly, my Omastar. This is actually a SpongeBob reference. It's actually Squidward Snail he used in the Snail Racing episode. And if you guys remember that episode. Now my opponent's going to go for Brave Bird. It's going down! It does like a quarter of my health because of a crit. We're going to get our weak armor, which is going to make us, you know, fast enough to outspeed the Golbat and get up some Stealth Rocks, get up our hazards. And yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me today. Gonna go for the Stealth Rocks, as I know Golbat's probably gonna go for the Toxic on me or Super Fang, but worry not, I know I can easily tank it because this is just a hazard stacking Omastar lead. There's nothing else really much about it. It's just hazard stacking Omastar, like that's pretty much it. Now I could go for a Spike here. I could very well go for a Spike here as well, but I know Golbat commonly carries Defog, and I'm not trying to let it just Defog away all my work. So I'm going to switch into my America here, my Braviary, expecting that Defog. If she goes for U-turn, so be it, but she does decide to go for Defog, which is phenomenal for Braviary because Braviary does have the Defiance ability, which is going to give me +2 in my attack. So that's pretty nice for me. And unfortunately, I am like a bulk up speed deficit that I stole off Smogon.net. I'm going to go for Substitute here because I think that Golbat really can't touch me, but then I forget about the Infiltrator Toxic. So I planned this Braviary switching like 5 turns ahead by bringing in the Omastar, laying up the Stealth Rocks, but no, she ends up having Infiltrator Toxic, which I completely forgot about, and I guess there's no hiding from the Toxic Terrain. And now my Braviary is Toxic, which is really bad for me. Now my opponent's going to bring in the Max Direct, yet again, the very original nickname for the Steelix. I'm actually going to go for the Flying Z move because the person that has been requesting me to use Braviary has said, use Fly EMZ Braviary, Fly EMZ Braviary, Fly EMZ Braviary, Fly EMZ Braviary. Like literally, I don't know what it is. Maybe he has like a fetish for Donald Trump in like America. I don't know what it is, but we're going to go for Super Sonic Sky Show here, hoping to one-shot the Golbat. My opponent does make the right call, bringing in the Steelix here, and it still takes a pretty decent chunk, not going to lie. I'm only at +2 attack, so that's pretty respectable damage considering the godly tank that is Steelix. And now, I know my opponent's going to lay up the Stealth Rocks again. What a surprise, though I could have Superpower, but I am sub-bruised. I should probably run like just offensive set, but I want to try like sub-bulk up because I heard it's a pretty decent set. Not against Infiltrator Toxic Golbat though, that's for sure. So now, I bring in my Omastar here, anticipating Stealth Rocks, as we're able to get that play correctly, and I knew my opponent, there was no way my opponent was going to go for Earthquake on a freaking subbed, or a Braviary banned a substitute. So we're able to bring in Omastar here, and I can threaten this thing out with a Surf. So I'm just going to go straight for Surf here, I'm pretty sure, because I don't want to over-predict and then have my opponent just stay in here and then just obliterate me. So she is going to bring in her Golbat here, as I actually just go for Shell Smash instead of going for Surf because I'm a greedy little bitch apparently. And I wanted to pressure out this Golbat because this Golbat's actually really annoying for my team to deal with because normally I bring like a really strong Psychic type on my teams, but this time around I didn't bring a good Psychic type, so my way to deal with this Golbat is just to overwhelm it with offense or just knock off its E-Violate. And since my only knockoff user is Hitmonlee, it's not looking so great. I probably should have went for knockoff when she brought in Golbat originally, but I was feeling a little bit risky. So now I know my opponent's going to switch into her Slowking, so I go for my Stealth Rocks. That's the main reason why I have Shell Smash on this Omastar, because it pressures out defoggers and stuff who don't want to get killed, so you can actually set up more entry hazards in return. So now I'm actually going to lay out my Toxic Spikes because I actually have Toxic Spikes over Spikes. I'm not too sure why. I think I originally wanted to run like a Venoshock Pokemon on this team. Oh yeah, but I remember why. It's because I have a Sub-Roost Braviary on this team. So I'm like, hey, Toxic Spikes are probably better than Spikes for a Sub-Roost Braviary. So now, gonna bring my Lysandra here, my Scarf Frostlass, as I know I can just knock this thing out with Shadow Ball or just weaken it. And I do have the trick as well, so I can actually give this thing a Choice Scarf, but I'm anticipating my opponent to switch out yet again. And so I'm going to bring in my Shipmon here, expecting my opponent to switch out, because it was a pretty obvious play, as she is going to switch out into poor John Cena, her Incineroar, because, Incineroar does resist by dual stab, so I figured this was coming in, and I didn't want to give Incineroar a Choice Scarf, because Incineroar is not the slowest mod in the world, so giving that thing extra speed isn't really that good of an idea. So we're able to get that double switch correctly, as she's going to bring in John Cena. My opponent's nicknames, by the way, are so original. They're like, the originality is really coming through. Now my opponent's going to switch out again, bring in Vampire, as I'm finally able to hit this thing with a knockoff. So we're able to knock off these things Eviolite, which means it's no longer immortal. It's just pretty bulky now, but it's not immortal. And now I'm gonna actually predict my opponent to go for Roost, go for Rapid Spin here. Pretty aggressive play, but I figured she wouldn't want to go for Brave Bird and probably just Roost off the damage or Defog. Either way, I knew Rapid Spin was a safe move, though she would have just defogged away the Stealth Rock. She set up on my side of the field, so I don't know if that would really be worth it, but we're able to Rapid Spin away the Stealth Rock, which is phenomenal. So now I'm able to switch out into my Murka, my Braviary, expecting Brave Bird, as she is going to go for Defog actually. I was expecting Brave Bird, but hey, this works too. We're able to get +2 in our attack yet again, and I mean, I don't think this Golbat's going to want to stay in here unless she wants to sack off Golbat, but that's going to make her incredibly weak to Hitmonlee, so I don't know if that's really the greatest call. But he's able to remove my Spikes and Toxic Spikes, or Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes, sorry. I'm not used to running Toxic Spikes, so it's kind of surprising. Now I'm going to actually pull a double switch here. I'm bringing in Wrestle Me Dad here, my Incineroar, expecting my opponent to pull a switch into Steelix. I'm making so many moves this game because my opponent's team is so freaking fat that I have to make these aggressive plays to even have a chance of breaking her team. So able to bring in Incineroar. And you know how I said I didn't have knockoff on any other Pokemon besides Hitmonlee? I do mean that because, of course, this is a Power Trip Incineroar. I actually re-nicknamed it because having an Incineroar named after John Cena in almost 2018 is a pretty old meme, not gonna lie, and John Cena memes aren't even funny, so running old memes isn't even worth it. So we're gonna name it Wrestle Me Dead instead. Go for Bulk Up here, anticipating Earthquake or Toxic. Actually, does go for the Earthquake, does do a crap load of damage. More than I was expecting, but either way, we're gonna activate our weakness policy. I'm honestly shocked my opponent walked into that, but like, I don't know, I thought she would switch out, to be honest, but I guess she's not really afraid, which, I mean, is fair enough, but now she should be a little bit afraid. So now I'm gonna decide to go for Drain Punch here, because I know Flame Charge is not gonna knock this thing out, and Drain Punch is going to give me enough health to the point where I can live another Earthquake, which is what I need exactly. So we're gonna be able to get some health back, and now my opponent's going to go for the Earthquake here, and I'm hoping she knocks me into Blaze so I can actually get up these Blaze boosted flame charges, but hopefully she doesn't crit me here. Thankfully she does not crit me, and she does knock me into Blaze, so now I don't have to worry about like a mid-max roll with flame charge knocking this thing out, because Drain Punch didn't do that much damage because I have no attack investment on this thing. So I'm gonna go for flame charge here, and with Blaze and +3 I should be able to knock out Steelix from that range of health, as thankfully the maxed Erect is going to go down. We're gonna get +1 in our speed, which is pretty helpful, and down goes the Steelix, which is pretty nice for me. So now my opponent is going to bring in the Vampire here at the Golbat. Unfortunately for my opponent though, I have a lot of boosts. Like, I think I have like 7 stat changes at this point, because I have +3 attack, +1 defense, +2 special attack, and +1 speed. I do believe that adds up to 7 stat changes, so Power Trip's going to obliterate that Golbat. Good night. And now my opponent's going to bring in Verizon, the Virizion. Ha! Never before seen nickname for Virizion. I'm just messing around. I'm sorry, my opponent, if you got offended by me poking some fun at your nicknames, but let's be real, they're not the most original nicknames in the world. But I'm guilty of not using original nicknames either, so like, we all are, let's be real, but it's pretty fun to just point them out. Like King of Slow, you couldn't have thought of any other name besides King of Slow. Like, come on now. Now we're gonna go for Flame Charge here. I literally had no reason to click Flame Charge here outside of me wanting to win with another Pokemon. So you can say this was a little bit disrespectful, because Power Trip and Incineroar could have easily won from this point. but I wanted to use another Pokemon, okay? I still have Victory Bell I need to use, I still have Hitmonlee I need to use, so I have other Pokemon I want to use outside of Power Trip Incineroar. And Weakness Policy Power Trip Incineroar is honestly disgusting. It's won me so many games that winning with it again is just not satisfying. I'm sorry if that like offends people, but like whatever. I already offend people like on a daily basis, so let's add offending more people, right? So gonna go for the Endure here with my Hitmonlee as my opponent's going to go for the Psyshock. Of course, she walks into the trap, going to live with 1 HP, and now we're going to activate our Weakness Policy. And Hitmonlee does carry the knockoff. And Slowking, even if it's max defense, I don't think it can tank a knockoff, honestly. Like, at +2 attack, Hitmonlee hits extremely hard, especially with the Adamant nature. And then has Unburden activated, so there's like nothing that can outspeed it besides like Priority or like Sky Frostlass maybe. And yeah, we're able to knock the thing out with a knockoff. And now my opponent's gonna bring in John Cena. But unfortunately for John Cena, not only has his meme died like 2 years ago, we do have the stab reversal at 200 base power at +2 attack. And this probably would have knocked out like 100 Incineroars. But either way, down goes the John Incineroar, and we were able to defeat Alyssa with a 4-0 victory. So the score made this battle look pretty one-sided, but I had to make some really aggressive plays to make the battle even remotely winnable. So I think this battle is definitely worth posting because I played very well. It's not like my opponent played bad, it's just that I caught her off guard with my Mii movesets, and that can be said about like over half my opponents. So yeah, I'm sorry Alyssa if you are offended by my nickname shaming or like me posting this battle, but she wanted me to post this battle anyway, so I'm assuming it's not a big deal. And I'm assuming since she's watching me, she can take a joke or two. So if you are indeed offended by this video, the best way to show that you are offended is to leave a like on the video. Now you might think that leaving a like would be, you know, a bad idea, like that's benefiting you. Why would I like the video? But let me explain. If you like the video, it makes the video more well known, which in turn will make more people watch the video, and that means there'll be more haters like you who will agree with your opinion. So that means liking the video actually hurts me. So if you want to show that you are offended, leaving a like is the greatest way to do so. And yeah, now we're going to move on to the question of the day, which is going to be, which Pokemon would you guys like to see me use in my future uploads? Let me know in the comments down below if there's a certain Pokemon you'd like to see me use with a certain moveset. And if you see a comment that, you know, has a suggestion and, you know, want to see me use that set as well, definitely thumbs up the comment and be like, yeah, Weedle use this shit right now. Please know that just because you beg me to use a set such as Calm Mind, Weakness Policy Kartana, does not mean I'm going to use that set, because, I mean, I have to draw a line somewhere, and believe me, it's really hard for me to draw a line considering I'm not straight, so like, it's really hard for me to draw a line, but like for real though, I use such dumb sets that considering I have to draw a line says a lot for the movesets people are suggesting me to use. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below which Pokemon you'd like to see me use in my future Wi-Fi battles. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll check you guys next time. Bye.